I hear all these comparisons from people that are saying like, oh, we're not touching national parks. Like I've heard that rhetoric over and over, like, oh, this isn't a national park. These aren't national parks. So we're not touching these. And
my response was take them. Yeah.
To me though, that just shows like a complete disconnect.
Yeah, I think national parks are public land, or like the most important thing to.
But yeah, but a national park to me is like not public land. It's not. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's not like I don't want to go to Zion. I like Zion's great. Bryce is great. You know, grew up in those areas. I've visited them multiple times, and it's fun to visit and see like these incredible views and the scenery. But it's not the same. No. Like I feel completely different about a national park versus national forest or BLM. That like I can go out and roam and hunt. You know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I
you're handcuffed to a set of rules. You can go camp, you can go fish, you can go hike, but there's the freedom behind a national park versus anything BLM or Forest Service or anything else that not even.
Yeah, close. I get sick of that. It's just like this disconnect. It's a disregard. It's like you don't really understand what it is that this means to me and people like me. You know,
that was one of the coolest things too. Was typically when we get on a rant or a rave about something like all the Colorado stuff and whatever, we've only got like us, the hunting community, the outdoors community, this and that. What I've noticed circling around this bill, the big beautiful bill, and I hate that name by the way.
Thank you for saying it.
The big.
I think it's silly.
Yeah. So everybody's passing around that I've seen like on social media from your hikers, people that have nothing to do with hunting whatsoever, all the overland community,
RVers.
Yeah.
ATVers.
Yeah, everyone banded together.
Which was cool to see because you realize it's not just us that uses it. And what's cool is maybe some of those other communities have a bigger voice than we do. Maybe. They might have the same voice, but it reaches a different demographic, right? So that was cool to at least see was like everybody is coming together on this one.
You guys seen the memes from like Step Brothers, where they're high-fiving each other and like, did we just become best friends? And it's like, the hippie hikers and backpackers, backcountry skiers, rock climbers, and then, you have hunters, your fishermen and hunters, but
we're all in it together. I saw REI was commenting on a bunch of like hunters posts, like saying, hey, we have this thing, make it easy to blah, 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 do this to make action against the sale of public lands. Yeah. Like REI is going all out and commenting on hunters' posts because, we all are in this together.
The other cool thing, I think it's, and I think it's going to have to become the new norm. I think it's unfortunate that we've had some legislation like we had in Colorado and a bunch of other issues that kind of united the sportsman community, where people felt like, oh, this is real. And like this potentially like really affects me as an individual. And so I'm going to jump in and I'm actually going to send an email. I'm going to call a senator. I'm going to, leave a voicemail or hopefully get to talk to an aide. But it's kind of lit like, a fire under people's butts, right? And it kind of sucks that it has to come to that, but I don't think that it's going to go away. I think it's going to become the new norm. It's just cool to see that we can collectively like get together, like a guy that wears Kuyu and a guy that wears Sitka, like they both can send an email, or they can call, a state senator. But I think that's great. I think it's been really cool to see the response. I think it's meaningful. It's having direct impacts, I think. So
the more though, I just hear about all this stuff all the time. I just feel like, and I'm blanket statement this, but like everyone is in politics and like a dirty snake. Like slimy little dirty snake. Like you think you can just pull this over and do all this and like no one's going to care. And then saying like, oh, we're going to make it so it's 5 miles outside of towns. And that's bull. Like they don't realize what public lands mean to everyone.
Yeah. Cause whoever's really good behind it has the pockets to soak it up and buy it up.
Yeah. You have all these like underlying things that are probably going on behind closed doors. It's like, that's just dirty. This shit is dirty.
But they feel entitled that they can do that.
Yeah.
Like they feel like they have the right to do that. And it's
my gut reaction is that, I agree with you because that's what I value, right? My values are mine and I value these things over those things. And I try to take a step back sometimes. And I'm sure that what they have to do is a super complex job. Like I certainly do not claim to understand the ins and outs of politics and the role that it has in running a country on the grander scheme, right? If you look at this bill, I mean, maybe this is a good time to jump in, but it's a massive reconciliation bill. So essentially, what the big beautiful bill is, the whole thing is it's reconciliation. It's money. It's fiscal, right? So you're talking making Trump's 2017 tax cuts permanent. It's allocating additional funding for border security. It's increasing the Department of Defense. It's scaling back Medicaid and SNAP benefits, limiting tax on tips and overtime, change state and local tax caps. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's like completely folded into this giant, big, beautiful bill.
Big, beautiful
But,
bill.
and I don't claim to have an understanding or have a breadth of understanding of how this all works in conjunction with each other. I'm sure that they have like an extremely complex job. And, Mike Lee, I disagree wholeheartedly with what he's trying to do. I don't necessarily believe that his intent to take this land and then convert it to affordable housing is pure.
It's bull.
I don't believe it. I think a lot of it's rhetoric, right? Now in saying that, like, is there a housing shortage? Is it really hard right now for young people to have that American dream of owning a home? Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Totally is. So like there's some logic in the things that he's saying. I just don't necessarily believe what he's saying, but and I don't think it's the right answer to solve the problem, right? I think there's other ways that you could do it. There's programs, there's Flipma and all the other ones that you've heard other people mention, but I don't claim to think that like it's easy. I don't know that they're like completely dirty, but some of it is.
No,
Seems
they're dirty.
They're dirty. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, on certain subjects, certain matters, I think, there's probably some truth to it.